toes and heels touching. Tuning into the breath. If you can, letting the breath pass through the nose. If you want to work Ujjayi breath, you can just allow the breath to touch the back of the throat. And you sort of listen to the breath as it passes through the throat, but try not to strain the breath. And then as we next inhale, bring those hands wide and tall. And exhaling, folding all the way down, hands towards the shins or hands towards the floor. Inhale, looking up, looking forward, trying to leave those hands down as deep as possible. Exhaling, feet back, hands down, lower the body, chin to the floor. Breathing in, lengthen through that front body, lifting through the heart, through the chest. Breathing out, lifting the bum up and back into a downward dog. Just pushing through the hands, maybe walking out the legs or riding in a down dog, breathing in a down dog. For me, downward dog is a lot about opening the shoulders and lengthening the spine. It's also about reaching the heels towards the floor. But I think the spine is more important than the legs in many ways. So sometimes maybe it's good to compromise the legs a little bit and bend the knees a little bit so we can open the spine. When we're ready to, let's inhale the feet to the hand. With the exhale, fold the body down, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale, hands wide, back to standing. And exhale, hands back to the heart center. Let's go again. Welcome, Sarah. Inhaling, hands wide and tall. Exhale, folding all the way down. Leave the hands down there and look up and forward. Then hands to the floor, feet back, lower the body. Breathing in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. As well as walking out the legs, it can be nice to maybe soften the knees and twist out the hips, so turning the feet one way and then the other way, so you can stick the bum out one side and the other side to really stretch through the back. Not only go from side to side, trying to just walk out the leg, trying to stay in a regular downward dog and just breathe and push. Downward dog is a beautiful transitional pose and travel to many places from here. With the next inhale, see if we can bring the feet to the hand. And with the exhale, fold the body down, lengthen also the back of the neck. Inhaling, hands wide, come back to standing. And exhale, hands back to the heart center. One more A salutation. Inhaling, wide and tall. Exhaling, folding all the way down. Inhale, looking up and forward. Exhaling, hands down, feet back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, lengthen through that front body. Lifting the shoulders, breathing out, lifting the bum up and back. So, as well as twisting out the spine, walking out the legs, finding rotation in the limbs can be a really powerful thing. When we try to find rotation in the limbs, it's about trying to twist the hands inwards or outwards, or the feet inwards or outwards. But we don't actually want the hands or the feet to move. We want the movements to happen through the limbs, up into the shoulders, up into the hips. Breathing. You could try and find a rotation through the hands if you're trying to twist those hands in towards each other. And when we're ready to, let's see if we can bring the feet to the hand. And with the exhale, fold the body down, lengthen through the back of the neck. Inhale, hands wide, back to standing. And exhale, hands back to the heart center. We're going to go into some B salutations. Hands behind. As we inhale, sit into the legs, try to brush the floor, then reach the arms nice and long. Exhale, hands on the floor, trying to get the belly on the thighs, and then we're seeing how tall we can lift the bow. Inhale, belly still on the legs, looking forward, lengthening the front spine. Exhaling, feet back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. Lengthening through that front body. Breathing out, downward dog, lifting the bum up and back. Here, transitioning forward with the right leg. We come up into warrior one. From our warrior one, we're going to curl the spine. See if you can get the forehead towards the knee. And as we inhale, come back up to the warrior one. Next exhale, see if you can fold forwards, trying to get the belly to the leg, but we're looking up. And then interlace the hands so that we can lift the spine, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And with this exhale, humble warrior, can you keep the feet grounded? Can you lift the hands off the back and bow down as deep as possible? Inhale, back up to that warrior one. And exhale, hands down, front foot back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. And breathing out, downward facing dog. Second side, left foot forward. Breathing in, warrior one. Exhaling, we curl the forehead towards the knee, lifting the belly off the leg. Inhaling all the way back up, trying to keep that front knee back. Exhale, folding, belly towards the leg, looking up and forward. Interlacing the hands here so we can squeeze the shoulder blades together as we lift up again. And as we exhale, folding down, lifting the hands off the back, forehead as deep as possible. Inhale all the way back up. Try to keep that left knee bent. And exhale, hands down, front foot back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. And here, take a few breaths, steady and slow. We can work all those things we were talking about, the rotation of the hands, twisting of the hips, walking out of the leg. Ultimately, we're trying to lengthen the spine and draw the belly to the spine. If you think of a greyhound with this tiny belly and these big, powerful lungs, here we could breathe fully into the sides and the back of the rib, with the belly hugging to the spine. That's a very powerful dog. Then when we're ready to inhaling, feet to the hand. Exhaling, fold the body down, lengthen the back of the neck. Keep the heels grounded and sit down. Bring the arms up as we inhale. And then stand up, pushing the floor away, hands up behind, ready to go again. Inhale, sitting deep, arms up by the ear. Exhale, belly on the legs, hands on the floor. How tall can you lift the bum? Inhale, looking up and forward, still with the belly on the legs, the hands on the floor. And exhaling, feet flat, chin down. Trying to be down on the knees if you need. Breathing in, upward dog. Lengthening through that front body. Breathing out, downward dog. Right foot forwards for warrior one. Inhaling. Exhaling, forehead to the knee. Curling the spine. Inhaling, warrior one. Exhaling, belly to the leg, looking up. Interlace the hands. Inhaling, lifting up. Hands squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhaling, folding down, hands off the back, tall as you can. Inhale, all the way back up, warrior one. Keep the front knee bent. Exhale, hands down, front foot back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward dog. Left foot forwards, warrior one. Breathing in. Breathing out, forehead to the knee, flexing the spine. Breathing in, warrior one. Breathing out, folding belly to the leg. Interlace the hands and lift the spine. And exhale, hands off the back, humble warrior. Bowing down. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, front foot back, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. And breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Broad through the shoulders. Elbows squeezing to the midline, breathing in. And breathing out. Maybe you can find a little internal rotation through the thighs, but don't let the feet move. Next inhale, feet to the hand. Exhale, fold the body down deep as possible. Sit down to stand up, heels grounded. Push the floor away, standing up, exhaling, hands up behind. One more B salutation. Inhaling, sitting deep. Exhaling, belly to the legs, hands to the floor, bum lifting. Inhale, looking forward, belly on the legs, hand on the floor. Exhaling, back and down, chaturanga, chin to the floor. Breathing in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing dog. Breathing in, warrior one, right foot forward. Breathing out, forehead to the knee. Breathing in, warrior one. Breathing out, folding belly to the leg. Breathing in, lifting the spine, hands interlaced. Breathing out, humble warrior, hands off the back, bowing down. Breathing in, warrior one. Breathing out, chaturanga, front foot back, hands to the floor. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Second side, left foot forwards, breathing in, warrior one. Exhale, forehead to the knee. Breathing in, warrior one. Exhale, belly to the leg. Interlace the hands and lift the spine. Bow down, lift the hands. Inhale, warrior one. And then exhaling, chaturanga, front foot back, chin down. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths here, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Next inhale, feet to the hand. Exhale, fold down, lengthen the back of the neck, lengthen as much down as you can. Bend the knees, sit down to stand up, heels grounded. Arms up by the ears, then exhale, standing up, releasing those hands all the way down. So from here, we're going to come into a bit of lunging. And so if we take the right leg back and the left foot forwards, and so we want to have the left knee above the left, somewhere between the heel and the toes, so it's easy to keep the front heel grounded. We're going to bring the hands to the floor. We're going to bring the right knee as far back as we can. And then to begin with, we're just going to stay on the toes of the back leg. So we're going to try to drive the back heel backwards to lift the back knee off the floor. We're trying to drive the front knee forwards, so we're sort of splitting between those legs. Back knee is lifting, hips are sinking down, breathing. And breathing. And breathing deeply. We're sort of activating the back leg, we're stretching the back hip. We're going to lean into the right hand, and we're going to turn that left foot out to the side. So we turn the toes out, but the heel stays grounded. So we lean into the right hand, we're rolling to the outer edge of that right ankle, and trying to keep the back leg straight, but trying to sink the hips down. Breathing and twisting here. Trying to keep the shoulder tall, so lots of weight pours through that right hand. And then slowly from here, we're going to come back to facing forward. Try to bring both hands inside of that left leg. The right hand can even walk back further. We're going to try to keep that left leg facing grounded and facing to the side. And the right toes, we're going to try to turn out to see if we can get the heel down. Here we're trying to sit down those hips as deep as we can. And maybe you could even roll one day onto the back of the right heel, sitting down deeper, deeper, deeper. And then we're going to turn back towards that left leg. And for a moment, we'll just bring the right knee down to the floor. We're going to do all of that again. You can do it on the ball of the foot. It's a little bit gentler. If you want to work a little stronger to point the toes away, you can do it on the front of you. So we see, can we lift the back knee off the floor by sinking down? Now we're opening through the front of the ankle too. When we do this, try not to be just on the toes. Try not to be sort of flexing the foot in the front. We're trying to open the ankle, getting down as deep as we can with the hips, lifting the back knee. Again, we're going to be on the right hand, turning the left foot out wide, rolling to the outside edge of that right ankle, twisting, and trying to lift the shoulder. Breathing. This does load the right hand with quite a lot of weight. See if you can allow that to pass through the thumb side of the wrist. And then slowly from here we see, can we roll it back across? Again, you could do it on the toes like last time, but if we can, we're sort of rolling that foot out to over that extended ankle, seeing if we can sit deep into that left leg, seeing how much we could maybe get that right foot eventually pointing up towards the ceiling. As we sit into that, encourage the left knee to open wide. Encourage the left knee to open wide. Doesn't matter where the body reaches to, we're just exploring to those edges. And then slowly from there, let's find our way all the way back. And let's just swap the legs over so we can just bring the back knee down. Left leg back, right leg forwards, or you can do it through a downward dog if you prefer. As we bring that right foot forward, so the right knee is going to be somewhere between the heels and the toes. The heel being grounded is useful. First round, we're going to try to tuck the back toes underneath. We're really trying to have that left leg quite far behind. We don't want to be here because it's going to be really hard to extend without lifting the bum. We're trying to send those hips down nice and deep. Trying to get the bum as deep as we can, trying to get the back knee lifted as tall as we can. Left heel is reaching backwards, right knee is reaching forward. So we're really working on the splitting of the legs. Breathing. Resting into the hands, resting into the leg, but working those legs. Then we're leaning into the left hand, turning the right toes out to the side. See if we can roll to the outer edge of that left ankle to try to sink those hips down. Try to keep the back legs strong and actively straight as much as you can through the knee. See if you can hang the hips towards the floor, twisting the body, trying to keep that left shoulder lifted, breathing. And then we're going to come back across the back foot. So first round, we're doing it over the ball of the foot. Seeing if we can get the right foot facing forward, seeing if we can roll that left toes out, trying to use those hands on the floor, trying to sit down, keep that right knee opening wide, sit down as deep as you can, left leg is extended. Maybe it's the inner ankle to the floor, maybe it's the heel down and the left toes beginning to lift up. Breathing, wherever you get to. And then we're turning back towards that right leg again. This time as we do it, we're going to try, but if it's too strong, go back to the toes tucked under to try to extend that left ankle, to try to lift. No, she hasn't. And seeing if you can find hips down, ankle down, back knee trying to lift. And then from here, we're leaning into that left hand, turning the right toes out to the side, rolling to the outer edge of that left leg, trying to keep the left leg actively strong, actively straight. Twisting, twisting, trying to keep the right heel grounded. It also works through that right hip quite a lot here. Seeing again if we can roll the other way, so right foot to face forwards, we're seeing can we roll to the inner left ankle, or if you can, even beyond that until the left toes are pointing up to the ceiling. Try to keep the right knee turning wide, trying to sit down as deep as we can towards that right leg, wherever the body gets to. We're not forcing anything, we're exploring what movement feels manageable in the body. And then we're going to come back all the way back and just let those legs come down. Let's take a little moment to sit the bum towards the heel as deep as we can. And we're just going to try to travel up and forward, down and back a few times. So we see, to make it easier, we can lean forwards and lift up. And to make it harder, we can try to lean backward with the shoulders. So the further we can keep the shoulders back, the more we're activating the legs. And this is a really useful thing to do. We want to make it manageable. So as much as we need to lean forwards and stick the bum out on the up and down, we can. If it's too much to sit down completely, just keep that slightly elevation, that you keep the bum that little bit lifted. We don't want to hurt the knees, but if you can, settle all the way down, do. And then challenge yourself. How much could you keep the shoulders back? Allowing those knees to bend, allowing the bum to come down really works the legs strong. And seeing if we can be steady and slow through those movements too. So we're really learning to actively work those legs. Wow, testing yourself. Breathing, but not forcing anything. If the knees say no, then it's a no. Welcome to have the shoulders further forwards. Welcome to really work those shoulders further back. And for this, any padding you need underneath the knees. So if you wanted something underneath the knees to keep it happy, then you're absolutely welcome. Wow. Okay, we're going to just from here sort of think about stretching out the thighs. So we're going to circle the right hand up and back. We're looking if we can to reach the right hand to the foot, but if our back says no, support the back and the left hand is going to go long. So let's do the first one, supporting the back. Just build on it. And so we're looking to lengthen that left hand up and long to stretch into the belly. And then let's come forward and do the same on the other side. That left arm can lead. We can circle up and back and then support the back. Right hand is reaching, looking to really extend that right arm long. Beyond up if you can. And then let's find our way all the way back. And we go again, that right side. Circling up and back, you're welcome to support the back, but if you could reach down, you're welcome to tuck the toes under to come a little higher to try to grab the heel or grab the foot. And then that left hand reaching low. This idea of tucking the tail under to engage that front belly a little bit might be nice. We don't want to feel this as a pinching in the back. We're looking to feel this as an extension of the belly. Breathing, opening through the front body, and then let's see if we can find our way all the way back up. And we try to go the other side. So again, it's absolutely fine if that is to support the back, or if you can, going down towards the ankle, maybe the toes are tucked under, will give you a little bit extra high. And then reaching that right hand second as far as you can, trying to find that long into the front body, opening into the front body, breathing. And then let's find our way all the way back up. And from here, just taking a little, in case there's any tension that we have put in the back, ideally we haven't, but sometimes we have. So then we're going to just allow the knees to open a little. The bum as deep towards the heels as we can, the hands reaching forwards. And see if you can then grip the floor with the hands and try to pull the hands backwards so those shoulders can become a little wider, the head is resting downward. We're trying to extend the belly, so if the hands can go any further forward, the elbows, if they do get as deep as the floor, the weight is in the hands rather than the elbows. The hands are pulling down and back towards their knees. And we're trying to allow that to help hold the spine open and help hold deeper at the head. And breathe and lengthen and surrender. All those things together, shoulders broad if you can. You're also pulling wide with the shoulders to create more space, more breath. With a deep breath. And then we find our way all the way in. So we're going to come, and we need to find a little bit of wall space for this. It could be a door, it could be a wall. You don't need a lot of wall space, just that you can be beside it. You don't need a lot of height with it. We're going to see, could we bring our right leg, we're trying to get the knee towards the wall and the toes up the wall. And from there, we're seeing, can we get that left foot forward? Now, this is a really strong stretch, so it can be really painful. You might get stuck anywhere along here. If you can get that left foot forwards, great, you're doing really well. And that right knee is trying to get in contact with the wall if you can. Again, you can have any padding you need underneath the knee. We don't need to be straining the knee on a hard surface. We could have a cushion under there, a pillow, a sofa, whatever you like. And then we're seeing, can we come all the way up as tall as we can? So here we're trying to come up with the shoulders, maybe elbows to the knee if that's challenging. Stop there if you can, hands on the knee that you can push, begin to push the arms. I'm also pushing into the front leg, trying to get the shoulders back back, back, but it can be really intense on the thigh. And if you can get the shoulders back to the wall, then you'll be thinking about, can I get my bum back to the wall? And if you're still looking for more sensation, more stretch through that right thigh, you might then be thinking of, could I try to tuck my tail under and draw the lower back to the wall? And then we just breathe in wherever that sensation gets most intense that for us to handle. We can stay there for a few breaths to really feel the stretching of the quads. And then slowly from there we come away. We try the same on the other side. So we can crawl away from the wall. Again, as much padding as you need against the wall, extra cushions, whatever you need. So we're getting the left knee as close to the wall as we can, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. We're seeing, can we get that right foot forward? Maybe it needs to come out to the side to come forwards. Just wriggle it, crawl it. Eventually, if you get the right leg forward, then you can try to come up on that right leg, elbows onto the knee might be enough. You can pause at any of these places, wherever the intensity is enough for you, pause there. If you can breathe and hang out at that edge rather than go too strong and have to run away, then that's even better. If you can, shoulders, if you can, hips, bum towards the wall, doesn't matter where you get to. We're looking for that edge. If you could, that lower back towards the wall, but we're looking for the edge where the intensity is manageable and that you can almost feel something releasing in it, particularly with the exhale breath. And if you can stay there and breathe deeply and hang out in the stretch for a while, then it can really begin to affect. This is a really strong place to be. And then we're going to do it all over again. So we come back to the first side, and hopefully it's a little bit more manageable as we go there a second time, but we're also going to mix it up and change it slightly. So subtle changes can sometimes make a big difference. So if you want to do it just exactly as last time, that's absolutely fine. If you want to try to change it a little, then we're going to take the ball of the foot on against the wall. So that right foot up the wall, the ball of the foot. So last time pointing the toes, this time flexing the foot. The left leg coming forwards. And if we can get up here onto that left leg, then what we're actually trying to do now is take our hips away from the wall. So you need to maybe take the left leg quite far away. We're trying to pull away and sink down deep, 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 deep. And it brings a different sort of stretch, similarly intense, into that right leg. If you're comfortable here, then you're thinking, as I try and drive my hips away from the wall, then I'm thinking about extending through that front body to take my head towards the wall, or the hands towards the wall. And if you're going for hands towards the wall and hips away, think about squeezing those elbows in, lengthening up and back, and breathing wherever you get to is absolutely fine. And then slowly from here, let's let that go. And see if we can swap sides, do the same on the other side. So I'll talk through the second variation. You're welcome to repeat the first variation of foot up the wall, foot toes pointing up the wall. Again, we're trying to get the knee as close to the wall as we can, but for the second variation, we've got the foot flexed, the ball of the foot against the wall. Seeing if we can come up with the body, right leg forwards, seeing how much we can lengthen, open and reach into the front body, but how much can we drive those hips down, away from the wall, away from the back foot. As we try to lengthen, tool, long into the front body. We're not looking to pinch any back body stuff. So it's the front of the thigh, into the belly, into the heart, into the chest, front of the neck, underside of the tongue. You could be looking up and back with your eyes. Think about squeezing those elbows towards each other so that you're opening across the back body. If you're getting the hands to the wall, a few breaths wherever you get to. And then let's let that go and see if we can come away from the wall. So let's see if we can. We're going to try to sit bum towards the heels as deep as we can. Again, if you need to elevate and lift a little bit forwards, do so. You feel free to lean into the hands. We're just going to try to roll the hips side to side. We're trying to get down to the floor. And you're looking to get the hips down to the floor. If you need to adjust the hands, do. But then we're seeing how much could we roll across those hips to the other side and come down to the floor there. And noticing that you can be, if you need to open the back of the knees, you can to do this. If you can let the bum rest on the heels as you roll across, that's also great. And as we roll across, you're seeing if we can allow that to stretch through the hips into the spine. So this time as we come down, bum towards the floor, if we're maybe on the right side, we're seeing, can we use the hands? And probably I'll be falling over to the right side more because I've got my right bum down. So I'm using the right hand more, but bending the arms, allowing the belly to fold in towards the leg or the right leg. Just seeing how deep down I can bow and fold. Just trying to let that open. Sort of, we're really working on the hips. It doesn't matter so much how deep the head gets, but by the spine folding forward, by the belly folding into the leg, it's going to really work into that lower back, and that's what we're trying to get to. And then thinking about rolling over to the other side, you can push off the hands and try to just, if you need to come up with the spine to do so, absolutely fine. And then we're seeing, can we get down on this second side? It is also absolutely fine to drop down to the elbow, but sometimes maybe you have a bit more control on the journey in if you just allowing those arms to bend bit by bit. So that you can make it progressive, that you keep going deeper, deeper. That you don't get to a place where it gets too strong too soon. And then slowly from there, let's find our way all the way back. I'm going to call that a recording, so thank you for coming and joining.